for more on the potential cybersecurity risks in this new work-from-home climate. Joined by Michael Furtick. He is the founder and managing partner at Heroic Ventures. It's great to see you, Michael. The question I'd ask you, and I've been getting a lot of phishing attempts recently, is what are we supposed to be doing differently that we weren't doing 2 or 3 months ago?
Well, thank you for that. Eamon did a great job and nailed it. He covered all the major points. Whenever you have a huge social disruption, and this is the biggest one any of us can remember, of course, in the working population, there are a lot of new attack surfaces, a lot of new attack vectors for the hackers. It's a bonanza for the hackers. So when you're at home and you're using your spouse's computer, or when your kid's using your computer for school, all of a sudden new things can happen. When you're in a Zoom environment and someone Zoom bombs you and you don't even see their face, so they put a link in the chat. Hey, that looks safe. You click on that, maybe. So look, I don't think there is a lot for most people to be able to take on themselves. This is the thing that CIOs and IT leaders have to do. I've long maintained, by the way, vis-a-vis your reporting on that law firm, that unfortunately law firms and consulting firms, the large consulting firms, the larger law firms, are often going to be the attractive soft underbelly for hackers. Why? Because they're horizontal. They see a lot of different people's lives, a lot of different business people's lives and businesses' lives. So if you can get inside those firms, if you're a hacker, you get a lot of juicy stuff, presumably. And my guess is a lot of the governments also look to hack them. They're probably not the entertainment firms per se. I don't think this is an area where the average person should be spending a lot of his or her time trying to beef up. Sure, you should probably put a password-protected mechanism on your Wi-Fi router at home. Okay, sure, you should make sure you don't click on a link until you really know where it's coming from. By the way, some of that is what's missing now. When you're in an office and you get an email that kind of looks like it might be real from the CFO, well, maybe you can walk down to her office and say, hey, was this from you? Was this real? Or is this not? And then she says, no, don't open that one. That wasn't for me. That's not as easy in this time of higher friction in the work from home environment. You can't just call someone or see them or text them quite as easily. Any little bit of friction against checking and verification works for the hackers and against you. But I would say this is an area, because it's so quickly changing, it's so dynamic. This is an area where I hire experts. I think certainly CNBC hires experts. You have teams doing this. This is not an area where I think the average person should say, hey, I know how to do this myself. It's, this is kind of like performing some minor surgery on your own body. You don't do that. You go to the doctor. You say, doctor,
right.
how do I get the help?
Michael, but let me ask you this. Yeah. Michael, you ever see there's commercials left and right for these insurance services which claim they will protect your identity, and if they don't protect your identity, they'll pay you out, if you will. Would you ever sign up with one of them?
I think you're talking about things like LifeLock and Trusted ID and so forth. And I'm too close to some of those companies, at least from years ago, to comment directly on them. I don't use those services myself for a number of reasons, but I do take a lot of care with my own security using two-factor authentication and so forth and so on. But look, I worry about this stuff all the time. Just this past week, I think it was in fact yesterday, I upgraded the two-factor authentication on one of my accounts because another one of my accounts, I got a blast email from another one of my accounts saying that names and emails had been compromised on May 14th or 15th. So I said, okay, I looked around my area. It's a perceived weakness. Said I should upgrade my 2FA, my two-factor authentication on another account where I was a little bit worried. So I do take proactive steps that are consumer friendly, but in terms of upgrading and hardening my Wi-Fi systems and so forth at home, that's not something I do. I have people I work with to do that.